Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Greetings. This is going to be the 5th video lectures that I am uploading about the rate, ratio, and proportion. Now, initially, we started with a problem that we had no idea whatsoever how to solve it. So the advice was to make an example, a familiar example of your own, and then use the solution of that as a prototype to follow, and then that will make the solution of the hard problem much easier to follow. We did follow that advice. I did give a simpler example. I went through that, and every step that I was taking discussing that problem, I explained it in detail and justification. I justified every steps. In other words, I did not follow any kind of recipe following. All right? And then the other thing is that since these lectures are intended to be for the developmental and basic algebra kind of audience, so I prefer to go through another simpler example of my own, familiar example. Even though the first one that I went through was sufficient to go and solve the harder problem, but just for extra, enhancing a student's approach, I go to go through another one. Okay, then let's get started, shall we? I'm going to zoom and stay out of your way. Okay, I read it for you. A college club has 20 members consisting of freshmen, sophomore, junior, and senior in the ratio of 4 to 3 to 2 to 1. We know all what that means, all right, respectively. Now the question is determine the number of freshmen, sophomore, junior, and senior in that club. Okay, this is the example we made, and we are familiar with that. We know what will be really the solution of that. Now, let me go to the second one. Now, 20 is the population of the club. Is that right? They are in the ratio of 4 to 3 to 2 to 1. Now, we call this one, just a name we put on that, it's not a standard. We called it unit ratio. All right? Then what we did, we went ahead and add all these constituents of the unit ratio, which is 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. And we end up with a 10. Is that right? That is the summation, the sum of constituents of the unit rate. That I call this one unit length. Okay, now next what we did next. That's exactly what we did in the previous lectures. And again, I repeat myself, I have gone through the justification and truly explained why they come that way. So we are not following any kind of recipe. Okay, then after that, you see you see that 20 divided by the summation of the what of the of the ratios was given to us. It ends up 2. Now 2 is multiplied by each of them. You see the arrow, 2 times 4 plus 2 times 3 plus 2 times 2 plus 2 times 1. And that gives what? That gives the answer that the question, the problem was given to us. So now let's see what happened. What I just said, I have put it in writing. Huh? I keep repeating that one. The justification is very important. the detail of that, and I want you to pause and each step that I'm talking about, explain it to yourself and justify why these are going that way. Now here, 2 times 4 is 8, is the number of freshmen in that club. 2 times 3 is 6, is the number of sophomores. 2 times 2 is 4, is the number of junior. And 2 times 1 is 2, is the number of senior. Now one thing you notice here that if we add all this together, we end up with the total population of the club. And that is 8 and 6 is 14, and 4, 18, and 2 is 20. And the population of the club is 20. So you see how they are mentioned. By the way, this now, the number of freshmen, sophomore, junior, and senior, now they are in the ratio of 4 to 6 to 4 to 2. Excuse me, 8 to 6 to 4 to 2. But as you notice, this 8, 6, 4, and 2 are not collectively prime, which means beside 1, another number, in this case 2, divides all of them. Therefore, this is not the unit, what we call it unit ratio, and this is the ratio of the total population, a class of total population of what in that club. The total number of freshmen, total number of sophomore, total number of junior, and total number of senior. So that is a good observation to make. Again, please pause, justify, see why they work that way, and that has already been explained in detail. Now the next one, which is not something new, I put it to repeat that one more time, because repetition is a good process of learning, especially for the beginners. So what we did, that is the ratio was given to us, we called it the unit ratio. We went and we add all of them together, and we didn't write 20 divided by 10 equals to 2, but instead of 10 writing in this form, we wrote it in the expanded form according to the given ratio. You follow me? That's very, very important. So the 10 that we are dividing, we wrote it in that form, and I did in detail explain why we should do it that way. And if we change the order of this, because addition is commutative, then we will be in a sense of a problem. We will not be getting the right answer. So I wrote the 10, a summation of them according to the ratio. Then I go ahead and multiply. 2 times 4 is the number of freshmen. Then plus 2 times 3 is the number of sophomore, plus 2 times 2, which is number of junior, and 2 times 1 is number of senior, students in that club. And if we add all of this together, we do get the total number of population. Okay, let me now go and zoom it back. Okay, then I would like to repeat one more time. In the coming lecture, I'm going to wrap up all these 5 lectures and come with a general approach, and then which is in reality is a deductive mathematical formula for that, so that can be applied to all similar kind of problems. Okay, then I thank you for watching, and as always, I wish you prosperity, good health, and please stay safe. So long.